Any questions after today's first practice?
Overall impressions, what did you think?
Well, we'll look at the tape. I thought, look, the work we get here is outstanding. You know, whether it's starting at the beginning with the individual one-on-one routes into the team periods, but a lot I'm sure we're gonna have to clean up when we watch the tape. You know, and that's what we just finished talking about. You know, you're in a race to keep improving every day. When you see someone else, you get different looks, both sides of the ball, different looks in the kicking game, and get on that tape and try to improve between today and tomorrow.
How drastic would you say the climate difference is, and how does that affect what you can do?
Well, look, it's significant, and so you know, you're not breaking as much maybe as you would be at home. You know, typically we'd have 6 or 7 breaks, and I think that's good. One of the good things about coming here to work.
How much more does it mean that this is a team that had a winning record last year, that has high expectations this season, and has
Much like us. I think just the prior 2 years, and they're a team that obviously was a playoff team a year ago, and I think when you get two teams working together like that, you know, it helps both sides.
Sean, Pace had a nice completion today, and I wonder, what do you see in him, his development? What are you looking for?
Well, it's kind of twofold, and it's tough because where he's excelling in one area, and you would say really far down the line, and one of our key contributors in special teams, and also a key contributor with what we do offensively in a different role as an F. Relative to the quarterback play, I think he and Teddy have had a real good camp, and you see the progress, you see the progressions, you see a more and more comfortable player, and that's encouraging.
Simi Cobb seemed to make a couple plays today. What
He did. He's developmental right now in his second year. Man, there's some times he does some things very well, and there are other times he's got to work on the specifics of the position. But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, he's one of those young players that needs the reps, needs the work, and you know, a practice like today is extremely beneficial to some of those younger guys.
Sean, do you remember 2 years ago, I think in preseason, in the game against the Chargers, Alvin had a 50-yard
First series, yeah.
Do you have a light bulb moment when a player makes a play like that, or not?
Well, I think historically, when we talk about a player that gains confidence, I mean, that run was, you know, early in the game. I want to say it was the first series. I think that takes place in our game. You know, players do things very well, and they build on those things, and that's where the confidence comes from. And I think very early on we saw a lot of positive things from him, and so the confidence not only grew with himself as he played, but it also grew relative to what we wanted to do.
Sean, these joint practices seem to be increasingly popular around the league. There was a long period where they kind of disappeared. What's it take to have a really effective one that helps your team? I mean, and can it accelerate things? Can you be especially efficient in this?
Yeah, look, I've been fortunate now in 13 years where for the better part of 5 or 6 years, we always shared a practice with the Texans because we always played a preseason game proximity-wise. We've had 4 with the Patriots. This is our 3rd now with the Chargers. And I think that, yeah, I mean, I think my experience with them is it's always been a positive experience. It's always been a chance for growth because you're at that stage of training camp where you're going against each other for however many weeks, and now all of a sudden you get a little bit different alignment. And I think the key is the coaching staffs, the communication relative to what we're all expecting, and the players understanding, hey, let's take this opportunity to get better, and let's not let it turn into anything other than that.
You know, the NBA does a lot of studies on load management.
Yeah.
Are you all doing more of that?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the new word.
But I mean, as a coach, did you worry about that 20 years ago at all? Was that a
Well, look, I would say 20 years ago, 15 years ago, it was be mindful of the veteran players that have, and I think we're much further along, you know, who's had surgeries, where you're at in your practice week. And so we put together a list, a plan, a load management plan throughout training camp. You know, group 1, group 2, group 3 players. Group 1 being the highest, not at risk, but guys that you got to really pay attention to. They might have had an off-season surgery specifically. Group 2 might be more of a veteran core, and so, yeah, I think we're further along and we're more specific as opposed to let's give a veteran this day off.
And I don't remember Drew ever having practice off like you all have with him.
Well,
Done that before?
we've done that before, so this isn't the first year, but I would say 5 years ago, you know, he wasn't. And I think probably it's challenging for him sometimes, and yet he understands the benefit of it.
Coach, along those same lines, obviously Keith Kirkwood was out here earlier. And how encouraged are you in this process to come
He's
back?
doing well. Yeah, he's doing well. All right.
How much do you think that Drew and Kamara, those guys, are going to play this week?
We'll see. You know, we haven't met on that. We typically will meet here either tonight or tomorrow night, and we'll finalize, you know, what we want to accomplish in this game. So, you know, once we figure it out, you know, then we'll, I don't know that we'll announce it, but we'll know.
Bill Johnson, getting back into the coaching ranks, coaching LSU for their injured defensive line coach. You worked with him for a while. What did you like about working with him?
He's a tremendous teacher. He's an outstanding person, a really, really good staff guy. And, you know, had a lot to do with our Super Bowl. But he's got a wealth of experience, and he's done it for such a long period of time that I think that'll be a big plus for LSU.
Sean, in terms of the work, third year with these guys, has anything in terms of the scope majorly changed? Or
I'd say the format generally has been fairly consistent. Obviously, the players are different. There's things that are different with what either team is doing. But generally, what we've tried to accomplish on day 1, then day 2, and then the final day has been pretty similar. And there might be some situations we look at that we didn't a year ago, but I'd say for the most part, it's pretty similar. All right, thanks.